listeners of Politics Done Right know that I do not consider 2022 a foregone conclusion. I don't consider that it is impossible now for progressives and Democrats to win 2022. It's all gone. It's all over. Hell no, it isn't. And you know what? If you take a look at what's happening around the country, if you take a look at what people are saying, it is evident that if progressives and Democrats do the job, this election is theirs to lose. Forget about what the mainstream media has been saying all along. But finally, I heard it today that they may be rethinking the narrative. And it took 538 to look at the Senate and see that Democrats are not only likely to keep the Senate, but increase their numbers in the Senate. And the House, even though it's likely to be lost, I don't think so. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
Some new evidence today that the predictions of a Democratic wipeout in November's election may have been premature. Seismic events from abortion bans to fallout from the January 6th revelations could very well be shifting some political headwinds. A growing number of analysts now believe the Senate, at least, could stay in Democratic hands. And pointedly, in Texas, a recent poll shows Beto O'Rourke has cut Governor Greg Abbott's once formidable lead to just 5 points. Financial filings also show that O'Rourke has set a state fundraising record, bringing in over $27 million from February to June. That actually smashes previous records. For more, I want to bring in Patrick Svitek, a political reporter for the Texas Tribune. Aaron Blake is senior political reporter for the Washington Post. So, Patrick, I think the core question is whether that slew of events that might seem to work against Governor Abbott can in fact outweigh a widespread discontent with the economy. So how do you read the race and where it is right now?
As you pointed out, there is some evidence in the fundraising and polling that this race is getting more competitive. I think that these events that you pointed out, especially as it relates to abortion and guns, have really energized Democrats in Texas. The question is whether it's changing any minds or it's just energizing people who are already inclined to vote one way or another in November. I know that Governor Abbott's campaign, has said that these events have, that they're worried that these events have led to, more fundraising for candidates like Beto O'Rourke. They said that before these latest fundraising reports came out and proved them true. As you pointed out, he set a new fundraising record in Texas and outraised Abbott for the period, which is very remarkable given that Greg Abbott is probably the strongest fundraiser the state has seen in modern times.
Do you think he's a different candidate now, or maybe that he's viewed a little differently than he was then?
It's a good question. I do think that there are some environmental things here. Obviously, Texas is a state that is trending towards purple, perhaps not as fast as Democrats might have liked in recent years. We had the very close O'Rourke-Cruz race in 2018. We also had the closest presidential election in Texas since 1996, 2 years ago. So this is a state that is there to be competitive in the relatively near future. I do think that there is a question when you're talking about a state like Texas. Is it a state that's just going to creep closer and maybe Democrats can't get over the top quite yet? I think that the certainly the environmental headwinds that Democrats are facing right now are significant. At the same time, we are seeing in a number of states, we're seeing some of these Republican nominees who are underperforming the environment. We're talking about the Pennsylvania Senate race with Mehmet Oz. We're talking about the Georgia Senate race with Herschel Walker, Ohio Senate race with J.D. Vance. They are not running as strongly as you would expect Republicans to be running in those kinds of states, given where the national environment is right now. I think Texas is maybe a little bit of a different case. Governor's races can be a little bit more, up and down. They're not necessarily people voting for a legislator, one of 100 in the U.S. Senate. So it can be more defined by those local issues than some of these Senate races can be.
We absolutely so. So, folks, if you are thinking that the race is over, if you are thinking that somehow it's a lost cause for 2022, that's what they want you to believe so that many of you don't go out there to vote. It is imperative that you go out there to vote because we don't only want to win 50 plus 1. We want to win so that we can actually effect real change. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.